Hey guys, I'm Flynn from Offshore in Asia. We're here today talking about Thai retirement visas, a bit about them. We're going to get into detail about each different one, the requirements, and what might suit your situation the best. Here at Offshore in Asia, we help people move, do business, and retire in Southeast Asia. Today we're touching on Thai retirement visas, the 4 different options you have, plus an extra bonus one that is available for people under 50s. Although not necessarily a retirement visa, it is a good option for early retirees. First one's the O visa. So the O visa is probably the most common retirement visa, either that or the OA. They're both very similar, and I'll touch on the other in a sec. But the OA visa effectively is the common retirement visa that's applied for within Thailand. So there's a general set of rules. You have to be over 50, which is the case for all 4 of the main retirement visas. And on top of that, you need an income of 65,000 Thai baht per month or a deposit of 800,000 Thai baht in a Thai bank account. There is a third alternative where you can have the sum of your annual income and a deposit combined equaling 800,000 Thai baht or greater. So the non-immigrant O retirement visa, as it's officially called, is applied for within Thailand. You have to apply for this at immigration, and we generally recommend going through an agent. It's just going to be a lot easier because you're going to need to set up a Thai bank account and a few other things to get the visa. There's no insurance requirement or background check for this visa, although authorities do reserve the right to request other documents that they might deem necessary. Generally, you can arrive on a tourist visa. However, this isn't a hard rule because generally speaking, you have to have that 800,000 Thai baht deposit in the bank account for 2 months. And so this will be the tourist visa, not visa on arrival. They're 2 different things. So the visa on arrival is what you get when you just fly in here without anything and they stamp 30 days in your passport. You can extend that by 30 days, but it's not enough for the application of the retirement visa, generally speaking. However, the tourist visa should be enough, and that's a 60-day visa that you can extend for another 30. But ultimately, you want to ideally talk to an agent and figure out what's the best for your situation, because this varies between immigration departments and provinces. There is a lot of bottom-up policy in Thailand, at least it's perceived to be that way, because many places, say from bank branches to immigration departments, the provincial or even the office level rules vary between different places. So what happens in Bangkok might not necessarily happen in Chiang Mai or Phuket. Some of the less important requirements, although you still need them, passport photos, 6-month validity on your passport, although ideally you'd probably, if you're getting close to the passport expiring, I'd probably just apply for a new one and just so you're done for the next 10 years. Also, there's going to be a little bit of maintenance as far as maintaining the visa goes. So you have to do a thing called 90-day reporting, which is every 90 days, you report your address to Thai immigration. This can be done via mail, in person, online, through an agent. There's a mixed thing. Some people can't stand it and say it's a huge pain in the ass. Other people say it's not a problem at all. So either try it out yourself first, see what you think, and if you don't like it, get an agent or just go through an agent to begin with. Bear in mind too that employment is prohibited, and also if you want to leave the country, you need to get a re-entry permit or else your visa will be null and void upon leaving. There is an important point to make with the O retirement visa. It doesn't require health insurance right now. However, pre-COVID, the Thai government were talking about making a requirement, and that was put on hold due to the pandemic. So do bear in mind that in future you might need Thai health insurance for this visa. I'll link a video up above that you can check out. We explain it in detail about how it works, the requirements, what you're going to need to do to get it, and what to look out for in insurance policies and places where people commonly make mistakes. The next is the non-immigrant OA retirement visa. So this is very similar to the O visa. However, it does require insurance, a police check, and a few other things I'll get into in a sec. It has the same financial requirements as the O visa, so an 800,000 Thai baht deposit in a Thai bank account or 65,000 Thai baht equivalent income. This will be applied for overseas, so bear in mind the income will be the equivalent in your local currency. Just bear in mind that the financial requirements, as well as a few other requirements, do vary between embassies, consulates, countries. So check with the place you're applying through and make sure you have everything sorted. As I mentioned before, insurance is required for the OA visa, and you also need a criminal background check in Thailand and your country of application or residence. Also, there is a medical test to prove that you don't have a list of diseases, which I'll list out right now, that being leprosy, tuberculosis, drug addiction, elephantitis, a third phase of syphilis. So If you fall into any of those categories, your luck still hasn't come around and you're probably not going to be allowed into the country. Also, you're going to need to be a national or a permanent resident of the country you're applying in. And on top of that, you're going to need 18 months as opposed to 6 months for the O visa on your passport. And personally, if I was coming over to Thailand to retire and I only had 18 months on my passport, I might consider getting a new passport in my home country if it's going to be a lot easier, just to get it out of the way so I don't have to worry about it again for 10 years, say. Also for the upkeep, it's the same as the O visa, so you do need to do 90-day reporting as well as get a re-entry permit. You can get single entry or multiple re-entry permits. So if you're going abroad more than 2 or 3 times a year, generally it's worth getting multiple re-entry. And bear in mind, if you do leave, your visa will become invalid, so it's very important that you get that sorted before you leave the country. Now we're getting into the lesser known visas, and these ones get almost no attention for some reason. The requirements are a lot higher, but if you can meet them, they generally are both very good visa options. So the first one is the OX retirement visa, or the non-immigrant OX retirement visa. So this is, again, it's kind of the same vibe as the O and the OA. They're what's called non-immigrant visas in Thailand. Generally speaking, they're what most people staying here indefinitely have. Any sort of O visa, whether it's student, business, retirement. The OX is only available to 15 countries, and this is pretty much the highest tier of high income earning countries. So think United States, Canada, Australia, Japan, England, and a few more other European nations. So the requirements regarding background checks, insurance, and medical certificates, and all of those kind of things that we mentioned before for the OA are the same for the OX. It's the income requirement that differs though. For the OX visa, you're going to need to deposit 3 million Thai baht into a Thai bank account, or deposit 1.8 million and have an income of 1.2 million in that first year. Either way, by the end of the first year of the visa, you have to have 3 million Thai baht or more in the bank account. In the second year, you can't have below 1.5 million by the end of the year. If you'd fail to meet either of these, your visa will be cancelled. The beauty of this visa is that it's a 5-year visa that can be extended by 5 more. It still has very similar rights and requirements and benefits to the O and the OA, but if you're someone who values security and knowing that you have a long-term passport, this is a good option for you. In my personal opinion, from an investor's perspective, 3 million baht is a lot of money to have tied up into one bank account that could otherwise be earning dividend income or rental yield, or however you're going to go about making your money for your retirement in Thailand. Personally, I'd go for the O and the OA and meet the financial requirements by showing them that proof of 65,000 Thai baht income per month. And if you're on the OX visa or could apply for it, that 3 million baht could go towards that anyway, and it'd be income you're earning as opposed to just sitting in a Thai bank account. In saying that, if you do like the security, it's a great option. The last and possibly best visa is the subcategory wealthy retiree of the LTR visa, or long-term resident visa. We've already done a video on the visa as a whole, so I won't dwell on that too much. It gives you a lot more rights than almost every other visa in Thailand, from work permits, exemptions, the 4-1 Thai to foreigner rule, and a few more things like 1-year reporting as opposed to 90-day reporting, which saves a lot of hassle. And it's also a 5-year visa extendable by 5 more, so similar to the OX. The requirements are an annual income of $80,000 or more. If you can't meet this, you need to have an income of $40,000 or more and invest $250,000 in Thai government bonds, real estate, or business investments. Regarding health insurance requirements, you need $50,000 coverage or $100,000 deposited in a Thai or foreign bank account for a year prior. It's worth noting that you can bring up to 4 family members with you for the wealthy retiree LTR visa. So if this is something of a concern to you and you want to bring your family over with you, if you can qualify for this visa, it's a great option. As of now, there's no options for anyone under 50 looking to retire in Thailand. However, there is somewhat of an exception with the elite visa. And if you're familiar with Thailand and visas, you've probably heard of this. It's the visa where you effectively pay a lump sum fee to the government and they let you stay here for 5, 10, or even 20 years uninterrupted, no hassle. So that's a good option if you're under 50. Let's say you're 42, wanting to retire and live in Thailand. In that case, I'd suggest something like the 10-year elite visa to bridge the gap between then and when you're 50. And that way you can get these 8 years uninterrupted where you can live here and start to build a life. And you don't have to worry about border runs, education visas, or any hassle like that. If you're still a little bit lost or not sure what the best option is for you, get in touch with us. We'd be happy to help or get you in touch with the visa agent. so they can help you apply. The bureaucracy over here is pretty intense compared to the West, at least most countries. So if you don't want to have to go through all the headache yourself, because trust me, it can be very difficult even to do simple things here, we recommend talking to us or an agent.